Good morning, everybody. Dr. Vasquez here, coming to you live. And today's conversation is going to be the pharmacology, the clinical pharmacology of selenium. Obviously, I've talked about selenium many times in other contexts, mostly the antiviral nutrition protocol, which I actually started working on based on some of the research that I'm going to show you right now, especially the work of Melinda Beck back in around 1999 or 2000. So her research was actually in itself was a paradigm shift. Even though she talked specifically about vitamin E and selenium, her work is what basically kind of gave me the idea of constructing the antiviral nutrition protocol. So based on her work, which we're going to look at in just a moment, maybe that'll be the first thing that we look at. Based on her work, I could kind of get a different vision of how to treat viral infections. And then, of course, I could expand that with other nutrients. But she really deserves the credit. So let's see if I can bring up that article right now. I don't even know how many articles, but maybe 20 articles, maybe 15 articles that we're going to look at right now. But I do want to give her the credit. And some other researchers get some credit as well. We'll look at this research from China. This is also very important. And this was published around the same time as the work of Melinda Beck. So certainly within the United States, she was the originator of many of these ideas, or let's just say the source. But a lot of the research actually goes back about 20 years to research that originated from China. Again, you can see that Melinda Beck's work was published around 2000, 2001, and this is published in 2004. And I presume that this work was already in progress around the time that Melinda Beck published her work. So I don't know who was first, and that's not too much of my concern. But we'll look at her original article that really was a paradigm shift, like I said, for me. And then we'll look at some of the newer research, especially on Keshan disease, which serves as a really accurate model for understanding how selenium impacts several different diseases, especially cardiomyopathy and viral infections as well. So let me see if I can find, we're going to talk about this. I've shown you this before, but I'll talk about it again today. I'm just looking around for the article. This was a press release based on Melinda Beck's work. I don't know if they mention her by name. They should mention her by name, of course. Yeah, here's her name right here. Melinda Beck, I think she's a PhD, Associate Professor of Pediatrics and Nutrition at University of North Carolina. So this is, like I said, the press release based on the research that I'm looking for. It's probably 2 or 3 articles away from where I am right now. But let's just look at this, since I want to give her the respect that I think she deserves and the respect that she hasn't received. Here they say selenium deficiency causes flu virus to mutate into more dangerous forms. So one of the things that bothered me so much about the mismanagement of the so-called COVID pandemic is how they completely ignored all of the data that we had, even press releases. It's not like this was hidden somewhere in some obscure journal. I mean, Melinda Beck published her original work in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. It was reinforced by work from China and, of course, other researchers. So this was well known. This was well known at the time of the start of the pandemic, and it was completely ignored. In fact, the medical organizations, the drug organizations, and even the nutrition organization said, oh, nutrition has no role in the treatment of COVID. Completely absurd and completely false. And, you know, all those people and organizations basically committed mass murder by denying this line of thought and this line of research, which was well known. So they had no excuse for doing this. So they obviously did it with malicious intent. So in order to make progress going through these articles, I'm just going to show you a few articles. We'll touch on them and we have to move on. So since we've already talked about this, and obviously you can get this for free online if you're interested, I'm going to close that article. So here's another one from 2011, basically saying the same thing. So after the research came out of China and after Melinda Beck did some original research to document the mechanisms, a lot of people, of course, have replicated this and repeated it and echoed it, as they should. But again, the original work came out of China, and then independently from that, but synergistically with that, a lot of the kind of biological plausibility work, and animal studies were done by Melinda Beck. So again, this was published in 2011. Micronutrient selenium deficiency influences evolution of some viral infections. So like I've said before in other videos, and in a little bit of preparation for this video, I found some of my other videos on selenium. So I'm going to add those into this video, and just so you don't have to go looking around for the other ones. So this one new video that I'm doing right now at the end of November in 2025 will include some other videos that I did around 2019 and 2020. So let's look at what they say here. Recently emerged viral infections include HIV, influenzas, including the gain of function research done by Anthony Fauci to make these viruses so much worse, H5N1 and H1N1, SARS, and Ebola hemorrhagic